Welcome to this demo session, AI in action, get ready for tomorrow. Over the next 15 to 20 minutes, we are going to dive into what AI is, how it's already changing our lives, and what tomorrow might look like as this technology continues to advance. Okay, so let's get into it and see what AI can do both now and in the future. Before we jump in, here's a quick roadmap for tomorrow. Okay, let's start with the basic. What is AI? Understanding the difference between artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. Real life examples, machine learning, types of machine learning, and advantages of machine learning. Okay, let's start with a simple question. What is AI? AI stands for artificial intelligence. Okay, at its core, it's all about giving machines the ability to think or act in the way the human can act. Okay, so artificial intelligence is the simulation of human intelligence by machines, enabling them to perform tasks that typically require human cognition, such as decision making and problem solving. How human can make decisions and solve problems, we are teaching a computer to do that in the same way. So instead of you programming a computer with every single rule, the machine can learn and make the own decisions. Okay, so there's a fun fact. In 2016, an AI called AlphaGo made history by beating the world champion of a game called Go. Okay, uh, so this was a massive achievement in AI. Imagine teaching a machine to beat the world's best in something as complex as strategy games. It's kind of like science fiction coming true, right? Okay, so next, what is AI anyway? What do you think? Like it's a COVID wave, or it's an invention, a new invention? You might think, right? It's a new invention. But my friends, what I think is AI is not just another new invention, it's an inventor itself. Okay. Okay, now AI often gets, mixed up with these two terms called machine learning and deep learning. You may have probably heard that. Okay, so now what you have to consider: artificial intelligence, your grandfather; machine learning, your father; and deep learning as yourself. So, what is AI? AI is a broader concept of machines acting in the ways that mimic human intelligence. Okay, so it's like understanding language or recognizing images. Okay, now let's understand machine learning. Suppose you like to shop. Okay, now you're a fan of sneakers. Okay, you are always buying sneakers or looking up on the Google the images of sneakers, something like that. So what happens? Machine learning learns from your preferences, from the data what you're providing it. So what happens, like if you go on Instagram or you go on YouTube or Google, you always get the recommendation of sneakers, right? If you like graphic tees, you always get recommendations for graphic tees. So what happens every time you shop, the machine learning gets smarter. The program gets smarter, the computer gets smarter. Okay, so what happens? It understands your preferences, it learns from your data. Okay, so next is deep learning. Okay, it is more advanced type of machine learning. It is often, used uh, uses layers of networks. We call these as artificial neural networks to handle massive data or complex tasks. Okay, so how about now when we were out shopping, right? So suppose you're scrolling on Instagram and you see a very good uh, person wearing a very good clothing, right? So what you take a screenshot and you go on Mintra or you go on Amazon or you go on Google Lens and you upload that image. So you get similar recommendations of these items. Okay. So what happens is when you get these similar concepts, similar items, so what happens is it understands the complex patterns, like complex features in your images, right? So what is my deep learning is a subset of machine learning that uses artificial neural networks to model and understand complex patterns in large data sets. Okay, so let's see next. AI in our lives. So where does AI show up in our lives today? Spoiler alert, it's everywhere. Let me give you a few examples. Okay, like virtual assistants, Siri, Alexa, Google. They are in our phones, they are in our homes, setting reminders, telling us how the weather is, and even controlling our smart lights, right? The more we interact with them, the better they understands us. Okay, companies like Tesla are developing these self-driving cars, right? We like that, you know. So, what is the goal of that? A safe, efficient, and eventually an autonomous transportation. Okay. Uh, Now, ever notice how Netflix or Spotify seems to know what you like? That's AI using your past choices to recommend shows or songs you probably enjoy. It's like having a friend who knows exactly what you want to watch, right? So it's like it analyzes your behavior and suggests you the movies, products, and music tailored to individual preferences. Okay, you know, Netflix says about 80% of these the shows people watch come from AI recommendations only. Okay, so next we'll see the key differences. Encompasses all methods to enable machine intelligence, includes rule-based systems, automation, machine learning, and deep learning. What is machine learning? Focuses on learning from data, learning from your preferences, right? Algorithms improve through experience. These are decision tree and SVM. These we are going to look into next sessions. Okay, more deeper concepts. Deep learning used neural networks with multiple layers, deep neural networks, especially effective for tasks like image recognition, speech processing, okay, etc. Okay. So the major difference between the machine learning and deep learning, you know what it is. Machine learning uses a labeled data, very, it works on a simpler data like tables, SVC format, Excel format, Tableau form. But deep learning, it learns from complex data like audios, videos, texts, that kind of data where we have to focus on very minute details and features of the data. Okay, they are more complex. Machine learning, it is more about statistics. Okay, next. See, AI is your grandfather, machine learning is your father, and deep learning is you. So what is this? Everyone might know, right? This is a cat. How do you recognize this is a cat, right? In the childhood, they must have told you that this is a cat. They're featured in your brain that this is a cat, right? By seeing their eyes, their ears, by features that it has a tail, it has paws, right? You can say that it's a cat. Remember this. Okay? Okay. Let's dive more into the types of machine learning. Okay. Now, how we have learned what is machine learning, let's understand it with it. Let's understand it and dive into the types of machine learning. Machine learning is a subset of AI that enables machines to learn from data and improve their performance on tasks over time without explicit programming. Okay, so what is that? There are two main types of machine learning: unsupervised learning and supervised learning. Okay, what happens in supervised learning? It is like learning from labeled data. Okay, develop predictive model based on both input and output. Okay, and in unsupervised learning, it is like group and interpret data based only on input data. Okay, So what happens in supervised learning? Imagine you are a teacher guiding a student with examples. We give the algorithm label data. For instance, like lots of images of cat or dog. What happens? The machine learns and eventually it can identify cats and dogs in new unlabeled data photos. So what happens now if we are feeding the machine lots of images of cats and dogs, right? So now the machine has learned that this is called dog and this is called cat. So next time I give the image of cat, it will automatically recognize that that is a cat. How? Because we have trained it on the data of cat and dog. Okay, that is supervised learning. There we have label. Focus on this word label. What happens in unsupervised learning? Okay, so imagine there's no teacher. Okay, you're like no assistance, no supervision. Okay, it's like there's no teacher or label data. The machine has to find patterns on its own. Think it's like organizing a group of people based on the interests without knowing their specific preferences. Useful for things like customer segmentation. Okay. Uh, okay. So next is reinforcement learning, which we'll see in the coming sessions. Okay. So what happens in supervised learning? There are two types: classification and regression, and in unsupervised, there's clustering. Okay. You know, Google's DeepMind used reinforcement learning to create an AI that plays StarCraft 2, a complex strategy game that AI learned by playing millions of games, and now it can beat even the best human players. Interesting, right? So, let's learn how machine learning works. You know, Machine learning is incredibly powerful, and here's why. Okay, it can automate repetitive tasks. Okay, like if there's a repetitive task, if a human have to do it, it might be boring, right? It's freeing us from more complex work. It enables data driven decisions. Okay, helping businesses spot trends and making smarter choices. It keeps improving over time thanks to new data and continuous learning. Okay, it can handle large data set. It finds the patterns. Okay. Now let's take an example. Retailers in the Amazon, uses machine learning for inventory management. See, by analyzing the buying patterns of customers, our seasons, they can predict what products, to stock up, or how to at what time to make a sale, or how to keep a customer happy. Okay, so let's see the steps how machine learning gets performed, how the model learns. So what happens? We provide a data to our machine learning model. The data is then pre-prepared. Pre-prepared. Okay, what's that data pre-preparation? It means we have to prepare the data for data analysis. Now, what's the meaning of preparing data? It means that we have to clean the data. Sometimes our data might have noises. What are called noises? There are errors in our data, right? We can have missing values. We can have some outliers which are not helping for our data to learn, right? Sometimes in the lots of images of cat there might be a dog image, right? Like that. So there is some errors in our data. For that we have to clean our data so that our data analysis must come insightful, right? So what is data analysis? It is insights of our data. It's knowledgeable facts, values from our data. We uh, we learn about them, and then with that we train our model. Okay, after that we select one model for training. Okay, there are various types of model which we are going to see next, and then we make predictions and then decision making. So over the from the past data, what we do, we predict the future and makes decision. Okay, next, We have seen types of machine learning: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. So what is supervised learning? Task driven. Unsupervised learning, data driven. And reinforcement learning, learning from mistakes. Okay. Now supervised learning. You can see we have given input to our data. Then we have one training data set and we have a desired output. Okay. The supervisor, there's our supervisor. We are there to assist the machine learning model, and there's the algorithm it uses and it processes, and then there's the output. Okay. So what happens? Focus on the label data. See, there's cow, elephant, camel. Now what happens? The output is also element camel and cow, right? So now we have given the images of elephant, camel and cow, and the machine automatically recognize the image is elephant, or the image is camel, or the elephant is sorry, or the image is cow. Okay. Next, this is a type of supervised machine learning. Classification. What's classification? It's classifying things. Okay, in the name itself, its definition is given. Okay, what it does, it classifies things into categories. Okay, so there's two types of classification: one binary classification and multi-class classification. So there are two types of data, uh, two types of classes in our data set. Suppose square and circles, right? So what we did, we have classified those into circle and squares. Okay, when multi-class classifications means more than two. Okay, in the main name itself, it suggests we have three types of classes in the one single data, and we are classifying into these three groups. Okay, next is regression. Okay, what's regression? It predicts the output. Okay, what happens is, like, suppose in suppose we are seeing salary and experience. Okay, according to that we predict, according to the experience we predict the salary. Okay, that's what is predicting the salary. So what we do is we predict the target output. Okay, what's the target output? Okay, fine. Next is unsupervised learning. So again, see, now we have given the input, there's model training, and there's the output. Okay, so what now, closely see what's input data. Okay, there are no labels that it has been shown that this is an elephant, this is a camel, or this is a cow. Now what happens? Unknown output. Okay, no training data set, right? So what happens? It processes itself, it learns from itself, there's no supervision. Now it it divides the elephant into one group, it divides the camel into another group, and it divides the cow into another group. So now it has just learned from the data itself, so that the elephant group is another, camel group is another, and cow group is another. So what it does, groups similar items together. Okay, next, that's clustering. What happens in clustering? The similar type of data comes together. See, like orange color circles got together, green color circles got together, blue color circles got together. What's that? Clustering. The similar type of data comes together. Next is reinforcement learning. Okay, simple example, like maze. Okay, if this robot wants to get to this diamond. Okay, what happens is, like, it will search the best possible way to reach this diamond. Okay, what happens? There are hurdles right in between, there's fire, right? So what way this will it will take? So it will take, first it might go directly into the fire, right? Then it comes back. So what's that? From the reward it learns. Pardon. So next time it takes a different route, and next time it takes different route. So what happens? It's like, it's a reward based system, it learns from. the state of the environment. So this is an environment, and from the environment itself, it learns. Okay. And last is our advantages of AI. Okay. So let's see what's next. Okay. Means, automation of tasks. As I said, it would be very easy for us to, like, do repetitive tasks. It's very difficult, but with the machine learning it will be easy. Data driven decision makings, like people using uh, buying stocks, the data, if, uh, with the previous data or the history of the data, continuous improvement, handling large data sets, like very billions of data sets. Right now we are uh, training a model with pattern recognition. It understands what our preferences are for buying, for seeing movies, for songs, everything like that. What the content we want in our feed, right? That's that's how it learns. Okay. So what happens? What's next for AI? So what's next? Here are a few exciting things. Okay. In healthcare. AI is already helping doctors, but it's just the beginning. Imagine AI assistants that can predict diseases, outbreaks, or personalized treatments based on your DNA. That's something in the future, but we hope that it does. Environmental conservations. Scientists are using AI to monitor animal population, track deforestations, and even predict natural disaster. It's becoming a powerful tool for protecting the planet. Okay, human augmentation, like AI in wearables like smart glasses, smart watch, health monitors, could give us real-time information on demand. Okay, so I think that's a wrap up. Thank you all for your time. I hope this gave you a fresh perspective on what AI can do and where it's heading. AI is already here, shaping our world in a big and small ways. So, whether you're a student or a professional or just curious, I hope as excited as I am, I see where this technology takes us next. Okay. Thanks again, and I'd love to answer any questions you might have. Excited to see you in the workshop.